Do you have a chip in your bathtub or shower? Or maybe a chip or scratch on your toilet? Or maybe your sink or basin? Maybe it's a porcelain enameled sink, a steel sink covered in porcelain. When that chips, it leaves a black mark. That's the steel underneath the porcelain. Some older tubs are porcelain enameled as well.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Jensen DIY. I wanted to share with you today a product that I have used quite a few times to repair chips or scratches on plumbing fixtures. It's called Porcelain. It comes in a bunch of different shades, and the most common being your white. It's a product made by Masters, American Standard, and it works really well. So, it works better for scratches, but you can repair chips or gouges. I'm gonna show you on Fibreglass shower here. Now, if you want to do it properly, you get the Fibreglass repair kit, but this does a good job if you let it cure. Now, I'll show you how I do it. This is a little quicker, but you still want to let it set for 24 hours before you actually use the fixture. Okay, so let's have a look here.
All right, the package says, unique way to repair chips and dents to bathtubs, sinks, refrigerators, and ranges with perfect color matched finish. Okay, so refrigerators and ranges as well. May irritate skin, use in well ventilated area, wear a mask, keep out of reach of children, keep away from open flames. But then it says up at the top here, not recommended for stovetop use, so that would be a range. I would say you don't want to use this in a high heat area. Hot water is obviously fine, but no flames. Yeah, and then the bottle has some instructions on it too. So small I can barely read it even with my glasses on. It's basically a touch-up paint, but it's very thick. So it's saying you can dilute it. If you want it to be thinner, well, you dilute it with paint thinner, or you can use the paint thinner for cleanup. Okay, so probably best to wear some latex gloves or something if you're concerned about getting this on your hands. So you definitely want to shake this product well before you use it. Okay, you can see we have a chip right here in the shower. We're gonna have to apply this product a few times to get this to come up to the surface. Now you wanna make sure that this is clean and dry before you apply it. And you just wanna dab it in there. Put a thin coating in. Now you can either let that dry for 4 or 5 hours, but in this case, I'm going to use a hair dryer to speed up the process here. Okay, so once that's dry, whether you've let it air dry on its own or used a hair dryer, then you want to take your sandpaper again and do a nice light sanding. I'm noticing I have a little scratch in the bottom of the shower here too. So I'm going to take a little bit of this . Okay, I'm gonna give that a little sand. That blends in much better, and that's dry. That was only a minute with the hair dryer on that. Okay, this is gonna take more time. So now this is dried up, we're gonna do another application. So you can see if you were gonna let this dry for 5 hours, it would take days to get this done. With the hair dryer, it makes it much quicker. And then you just repeat the process until this is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And this is a fairly deep gouge here, so
Most of the time it would just be a smaller chip or a little scratch like that, and this works really well for that. You can see on that one, I got impatient. I added extra. So I just put the blow dryer on it for longer. You can see it bubble up. Okay, you can see I've filled that in. Now I'm gonna let that set for a little bit on its own. Maybe I'll give it half an hour and then I'll come back and use the hair dryer again and might have to add a little bit more. Okay, I got busy doing something else and I let this sit for about an hour and a half, and you can see that it's dried up. It still feels a little tacky, not bad though. Okay, so I'm gonna put, looks like one more application on here. And then I think for this last one, I'm going to let it dry naturally, because you want to let it sit for 24 hours before you use the shower anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and put this last application on and just let it dry. Then I'll show you what it looks like in 24 hours, and it'll just need a light sanding and that should be good. I believe it's the 5th or 6th application I put on, but this, you saw at the beginning, it was quite a gouge in there. So we'll let this dry up, come back in 24 hours, and that should be good. Okay, there it is after 24 hours. Okay, well, it's not perfect, but it is much better than it was. There's still a tiny bit of a ridge. I'm gonna leave it like this, and you know, this is a real close-up camera shot here, so you know, you can barely notice it from a distance. And the main thing was just so the problem didn't get worse. So, you know, I could probably add another coat or two over the next few days, but I'm just gonna leave it and see how it holds up and go from there.
This should last quite a while once that product cures right up. So definitely a good idea to let it set for at least 24 hours or longer if you can. Okay. Okay, everyone. Well, thanks for watching. I hope the video helped you out, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right, here's a little update for you. I was kind of slow with the editing of this video, so this is actually 3 weeks later. It's held up really well. This has been cleaned a couple of times, and it is a good enough repair for us. This shower gets used a lot too, minimum 2 times a day. So yeah, it's held up quite well. And the location of the repair is not where you would stand anyways, so it doesn't really get any foot traffic. It's just the water hitting it, and it gets scrubbed a bit when it's getting cleaned. Very cost-effective way to repair something like this. I'll leave a link in the description for the product in case anyone's interested. Thanks again for watching.